I'm Renk. 10 years ago, I was kidnapped by 4 brutal men and suffered horrific, inhumane torture. I barely escaped with my life, ready to reconnect with my parents, until Serena appeared. That jealousy had been growing inside her all these years.
Don't think that just because you're back, you can return to your previous life.
I didn't hug her back at all. I turned straight to my parents, who were bawling their eyes out, and asked point blank, "Who is she?"
She's your sister. After you were abducted, she stayed by our side and got us through those darkest, hardest days.
She's the daughter of a close family friend. You two actually played together as kids. I'm sure you'll bond just fine.
Her parents split up. She lived with her dad, and then he passed away in a car crash. We took the poor girl in out of kindness.
No one will ever replace your place in our hearts, sweetheart.
All right then. Since Mom and Dad put it that way, I'll bite my tongue and let it go for now.
I've been the one here keeping Mom and Dad company all these years you were gone. If you even try to steal their love and attention from me, I'll break your legs for real.
Sorry. Left ear's deaf. Can't hear you.
Don't start any drama here, and don't get on her bad side.
Save yourself the trouble. You don't need to lift a finger.
My parents heard the loud crash and rushed right back.
The moment they saw the scene, Mom let out a terrified shriek. Serena instantly fell into Dad's arms, putting on a waterworks show and crying that I'd intimidated and scared her. Reed also jumped on the bandwagon, calling me cold-hearted and cruel out of nowhere. Watching this ridiculous charade unfold right in front of me, I knew this was just the start of everything.
Serena loves being the center of attention. She dressed like a show-off peacock for my homecoming banquet. 200 guests, all here for the miracle reunion. I wore pale blue silk with long sleeves and a high collar, every scar hidden away. Halfway through dinner, Serena stood up.
I know I've only been holding her place. Now that Wen's home, I just to be the best sister I can.
Loud applause broke out. Some guests were even crying. She walked over with open arms. I stepped forward on my prosthetics to meet her. She deliberately stumbled and grabbed both my sleeves to steady herself. The room fell silent, then filled with quiet gasps and disgusted looks from the crowd. Burns, knife wounds, cigarette burns. Not a single patch of unscarred skin. Mom quickly draped a coat over me, but it was too late. Everyone saw the scars of my years of suffering. A girl kidnapped for years. What horrors must she have endured? My scars told the whole story.
Who did this to you? Tell us! We'll make them pay!
Serena suddenly broke into strict tears.
I'm so sorry. It was an accident. I thought my sister would catch me.
Why didn't you steady her?
Her shameless blame game made me scoff. I looked at Serena with disdain and spoke. If you can't walk properly, donate your legs to someone who actually needs them. Serena burst into louder sobs.
That's really cruel.
What do you want me to do? Accept her apology and act like nothing happened? No one said a word. Guests left one by one. Serena stared at me coldly, wearing a malicious smile. A terrifying thought suddenly crossed my mind. Serena has never seen my body. How could she know I'm covered in scars? All the guests left the house. Serena stood quietly at the top of the stairs, as if she had been waiting for me all along. Let me help you walk up the stairs.
I insist on helping you.
Serena walked down the stairs, linked her arm tightly through mine, and acted as if she was doing me a big favor. When we reached the bottom of the stairs, she leaned her head close to my ear and whispered coldly, "Do not think acting pitiful can win you their care. Mom and Dad love me, not you." I kept silent and did not reply to her provocation. She still pulled me to walk up the stairs together. There is a maple leaf tattoo on her arm. Serena followed my gaze. Her expression suddenly changed, and she released my arm.
Good night.
2 clear clicking sounds rang out as my prosthetic legs fell off my body. The wounds on my residual limbs tore open due to the fall, and blood soaked through the bandages quickly. Was Serena standing on the stairs above me? Her face turned pale. She was not scared about my injury. She was afraid that she had gone too far with her scheme too quickly. One of my prosthetic legs was still rolling on the floor when my vision turned completely dark. I woke up laying on my bed in my bedroom. My residual limbs were rebandaged, and they throbbed with constant pain. Mom sat on the edge of my bed with swollen red eyes from crying, and she comforted me not to force myself to apologize to anyone. I looked out of the bedroom window and saw Serena standing in the garden. She held a phone to her ear tightly with her shoulders tensed up. I knew she was worried that I would tell my parents the truth about her pushing me down the stairs. I chose not to expose her secret for the time being.
Dr. Voss arrived at my home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She looked calm and observed me carefully.
Rin, can you tell me how you got all these scars on your body?
I sat on the bed with my legs tucked under my body and looked straight at Dr. Voss.
I made these scars on myself. Why would you hurt your own body like that?
If I hurt myself first before those men got angry at me, they would treat me more gently. It was a way to protect myself in advance. Dr. Voss told me that hurting myself would only sadden the people who cared about me. I waited quietly for her to finish speaking. I had friends when I was trapped. They were other kidnapped kids. We shared food with each other and covered for one another. All of them passed away later. The 4 men locked all of us inside a barn and set it on fire.
Dr. Voss stopped writing down her notes immediately.
My best friend Maya pushed me out of a window right before the barn roof collapsed. I paused for a moment to calm my emotions, but I spoke Maya's name out loud without hesitation. My parents learned about the huge psychological trauma I had suffered over the years. Serena only cared about what I had told the doctor and my parents. On the same evening, Dr. Voss had a private talk with Mom and Dad inside the study room. I stood outside the window of the study and secretly watched them. I was not supposed to eavesdrop, but I knew how to read lip movements. Through the window, I saw Dr. Voss mouth words such as severe trauma, deep-rooted psychological damage, and long-term mental conditioning. Mom's shoulders kept shaking from sadness, and Dad clenched his fists tightly in anger. The next morning at breakfast,
I heard you talked with the psychological therapist yesterday. I hope the conversation helped you feel better.
Reed poured coffee for everyone at the table and spoke for Serena.
Serena feels extremely sorry about what happened on the stairs the other day.
I looked at Mom and Dad, but neither of them said a single word to defend me.
Of course, she should be sad. Serena's face turned pale. I smiled back at her calmly. Serena put down her fork on the table.
The Henderson family holds an exclusive yacht party this weekend. Let's do it together.
Reed nodded in agreement, while Mom hesitated and looked worried. Serena glanced at me quickly for a split second. A sly glint flashed in her eyes before anyone could notice it. I knew she was setting a trap for me on purpose. Her plan was exactly what I expected. Wood decided to take the initiative to walk into a trap.
I will go to the yacht party.
20 minutes after boarding the yacht, a waiter accidentally spilled champagne on my dress, just like a planned plot. Serena grabbed my arm before I could say anything to the waiter.
Come with me. Let me help you clean up the dress right away.
She dragged me to the end of the deck, where no one was around and there were no surveillance cameras. All the fake smiles on Serena's face disappeared completely. Mom and Dad do not love you at all. They only love me. I have lived in this family for 10 years.
The less a person has, the more they emphasize what they have.
The sea can bury all evil.
I don't think you can beat me. Indeed, that's why.
She pulled me along and jumped into the sea together. The cold seawater swallowed my body instantly.
This crazy woman is seriously ill! Help!
I did not struggle at all underwater, following the instinct I learned during captivity. I can't swim. I can only leave it to fate.
There is another girl in the water, the quiet one. She is not moving at all. Reed's face turned pale with fear. He dove back into the water and pulled me up to the surface. I gasped for air the moment I broke out of the water. Several people on the yacht pulled me onto the deck quickly.
Serena leaned weakly into Reed's arms and cried loudly.
She grabbed my ankle tightly and tried to pull me into the deep water.
I rushed forward quickly. I pushed Reed backward with all my strength. He stumbled backward and escaped the dangerous area just in time. I landed right on the spot where Reed had been standing. The mast hit the deck with a deafening bang. A rigging rope wrapped around my shoulder and spun me around violently, making me fall to the ground heavily. One of my prosthetic legs loosened due to the strong impact. It slid across the tilting deck and fell over the broken railing into the sea. That prosthetic leg was installed with a GPS tracker. He tried to pull me up, but I fell back down. My body could not support itself at all. Reed sat down beside me on the wet deck, breathing heavily in shock.
Why did you risk your life to save me?
Because you are my brother.
I'm sorry, but I always thought you were a rude and impolite person. Now you know I'm not like that.
Reed ran his hands through his wet hair in frustration, then stood up, shouted for help.
Get a doctor right now! Someone jump into the sea to find her lost prosthetic leg! Find it at all costs!
They helped me into the yacht cabin to wait for the storm to pass. But we never got the chance to sail back safely.
The sea surface was calm 1 second. Dark storm clouds rolled in quickly the next second, and the yacht hulls rocked violently in the rough waves.
All passengers, please go to the deck immediately and put on your life vests.
A fierce storm had completely surrounded us.
The deafening roar of the storm drowned out all sounds, including the sound of my abduction. Alarm bells rang on the yacht. Crew members ran back and forth, and life rafts were lowered into the sea one after another.
All families stay together and do not leave your group!
I saw Reed pulling Serena toward a life raft, with Mom and Dad following closely behind them.
Wait for me!
A pair of rough hands grabbed my arm suddenly.
This life raft is closer to us! Hurry up and get on!
My family is over there! I need to go to them!
They are already on the main life raft. We will meet everyone on the shore. Move quickly!
He lifted me onto the life raft before I could argue. 2 other men jumped onto the raft right after, and one of them released the raft automatically. The life raft dropped heavily into the churning seawater. The 3 men rowed the raft extremely fast and skillfully. As the yacht disappeared behind the rough sea waves, one of the men turned to look straight at me. He wore a cold smirk on his face. A clear scar across his left cheek caught the dim light. My heart sank sharply with fear.
We meet again. Win.
The other 2 men laughed mockingly at my shocked expression. I turned my head and looked back. Reed stood on the other life pad, cupping his hands around his mouth and shouting my name loudly. I calmed down and suddenly a thought flashed through my mind. I looked at them and asked calmly, "Who instructed you to kidnap me?"
We have an obligation to keep the employer's identity confidential.
The answer came to me. I know even without you saying it. Your employer must be Serena, right?
Your question won't help you delay things.
The men rowed the life raft out of the storm area and took me back to the nightmare place that ruined my childhood. This is an isolated island, completely uninhabited.
They dragged me across the beach towards an abandoned warehouse and threw me heavily onto a metal chair inside.
One of the men slapped my face hard. My left ear rang sharply, and blood trickled down my cracked lip.
Wake up, little cripple girl.
I raised my head slowly and looked at the 4 men in front of me. I looked carefully at each of their faces one by one. One man had a long pipe scar on his forearm. Another man always smelled of cigarette smoke and gasoline. Kidnapper who laughed. And the last one was Scarface. These were exactly the 4 men who kidnapped me 12 years ago. They were the ones who broke my legs, hurt my left ear, blinded my right eye, and set fire to the barn back then. I had believed for 12 years that I would never meet these cruel men again.
Well, little worm. We all thought you died a long time ago.
I kept silent and did not say a word. Scarface walked to a wooden table beside him and picked up a metal pipe. He weighed the pipe in his hand slowly, as if getting familiar with his old weapon again. These 4 faces I will never forget. Of course. And the maple leaf tattoos on their wrists. These patterns are identical to the one on Serena's wrist. They are in cahoots. Even before I was kidnapped.
Scarface crouched down in front of me casually, acting like he had endless time to waste.
You've probably guessed it. Your sister orchestrated all of this. We are her father's hatchet man. We will fulfill any of her requests.
I've never provoked her.
You're far happier than she ever was, and she's miserable. We'd do anything for her, even kill her own father. If he were still alive, how could she ever end up with your family?
Your bond with your young lady is truly extraordinary.
You'd even kill your own master for her.
Scarface reached out and patted my cheek lightly.
Don't insult my young mistress!
He wrapped his hand around my neck and squeezed gently once before letting go. I coughed softly but did not scream or cry. The man who smelled of cigarettes held a lit cigarette close to my arm. I bit the inside of my mouth tightly and focused all my attention on remembering every word they said. She searched for you on the dark app. She contacted you actively. She doubled the payment to kill me. I locked every piece of information firmly in my memory. The cigarette burned my arm, and I kept my body completely still without flinching. Scarface lifted the metal pipe and prepared to hit me. They thought all their crimes would be buried with my death. But they were completely wrong. Scarface never landed the third bloke on me. The warehouse door was kicked open violently.
This is the police!
Police officers rushed in with flashlights and guns, shouting loud orders. The 4 criminals tried to run away in panic, but there was no escape route for them. Mom screamed loudly the moment she saw my injured and miserable appearance. Dad rushed to my side in seconds, took off his coat, and wrapped it around my body before I could speak.
How dare you hurt my sister!
Reed rushed straight towards Scarface in anger. 2 police officers pulled Reed back forcibly to stop him from attacking the criminal. The police handcuffed all 4 men and led them out of the warehouse. Dad held Reed back when he tried to rush at Scarface again as the criminal passed by us.
It is not worth losing your temper over them. Calm down.
Dad's voice trembled with suppressed anger and worry.
How did you call the police? We only learned about your kidnapping when we received the police notification.
This is my location alert device, crafted after I was rescued. Never imagined it would actually come in handy.
I thought I'd never need it. After all, who gets kidnapped twice in their lifetime? And by the same people, no less.
Mom nodded with tears still streaming down her face and said she had a bad premonition all day. I tried to stand up on my feet. My body was too weak to hold itself up. Dad caught me in his arms right before I fell to the ground. I want to walk outside for some fresh air. I managed to walk 3 steps out of the warehouse door. Then my vision spun, and I lost all strength. The last thing I saw before fainting was Reed holding the spare prosthetic leg with shaking hands. I woke up staring at the white ceiling of the hospital room. An IV drap was inserted into my right hand, and my residual limbs were newly banded. I was still alive. Mom held my hand tightly the second I opened my eyes. You are awake now. You are safe and okay.
Where is Serena? What explanation did she give to everyone?
Mom and Dad exchanged a complicated look with each other.
She claims those 4 men threatened her first. She said they approached her and forced her to pay money or they would hurt our whole family.
Her lawyer says the bank transfer record alone cannot prove her guilty intention. She insists she was coerced into paying the money.
I felt a sharp pain and wink, disappoint in my heart. The Scarface claimed that he was solely responsible for everything and that Serena had nothing to do with it, but he could not explain the transfer records. She is the real mastermind behind the scenes, including becoming your daughter and pleasing you. Finally, completely replace me.
No one can replace your place in our hearts.
Maya pushed me out of the burning window 12 years ago. She died in the fire to save my life, along with all the other kidnapped kids. My voice cracked with sadness and anger. I made a promise to all of them that I would make every criminal pay for their crimes. I looked at Mom, Dad, and Reed seriously. Serena has no right to pretend to be innocent and use my painful experience to gain sympathy. I have enough evidence, and I am going to use it to expose her now. The IV tube in my hand shook slightly with my firm emotion. I have complete audio and video evidence of everything that happened. I want to hand it over to the police in person and confront Serena face to face.
Rink, you are still very weak, but if you insist on going,
I'm going to.
Rin, you can barely sit up steadily right now. You cannot go out like this.
I know my physical condition, but I am still going to the police station no matter what.
Dad looked at me in silence for a long time, then nodded once and went to communicate with the doctor. Reed went to prepare the car for us. I did not wear any prosthetic legs. My eye socket was still inflamed and sore, covered with schaub over my right eye. I wore loose casual clothes that Mom brought to the hospital. My appearance fully showed all the pain and suffering I had endured. It was better this way. I wanted Serena to see exactly what she had done to me when I walked in. Reed pushed me in a wheelchair, with Mom and Dad walking behind us to the police station. The police officer at the front desk looked up when we entered the station.
Your parents mentioned you have new key evidence to provide to the police?
Yes, but I want to present the evidence in person.
I want to do it in front of Serena. She deserves to hear the truth with her own ears.
We can arrange a face-to-face interrogation room. Are you sure your body can handle this?
I am completely sure.
I looked out of the police station window toward the parking lot. Serena's car was already parked there. She was still sitting inside the car quietly. She was waiting for the result of the interrogation nervously.
The interrogation room was equipped with tables, chairs, and a one-way observation mirror. Serena sat opposite me with her lawyer beside her. Her eyes turned red and filled with tears the moment she saw me, putting on a perfect acting show immediately.
Wink, I am so sorry for everything. I was so scared at that time. I never thought those men would really hurt you.
Stop talking immediately and do not say any more words.
Serena pressed her lips together tightly, but still kept shedding fake tears. Behind her fake sadness, there was obvious calculation and a faint hope that I had no evidence against her.
Let us start the interrogation. Wink, you said you have evidence to present. Please show it to us.
I do have the evidence. Please go ahead.
Then I slowly raised my hand. I pointed directly at my right eye, which was still covered with scar. The evidence is right here. Serena's lawyer frowned in confusion. Serena stopped crying completely. Her face turned stiff and motionless for the first time since I entered the room. All her inner hope vanished in an instant. She did not understand what I meant by my words, but she knew clearly that she was in huge trouble now. The evidence is right here. I slowly took off the gauze covering my right eye. My empty eye socket was exposed in front of everyone in the room. Serena gasped in shock, and her lawyer's frown deepened even more. I reached up to take out my prosthetic eye and placed it on the table between Serena and me. This prosthetic eye has a hidden camera inside. It recorded everything that happened at the yacht party, on the life raft, and inside the abandoned warehouse. All the footage is stored in it.
This kind of privately recorded footage cannot be used as legal evidence. It is unauthorized surveillance.
I only recorded my own experience in the crimes committed against me. This is completely legal and admissible in court.
The police officer immediately called the technical support team to come and check the prosthetic eye. Serena stared at the prosthetic eye on the table with a horrified expression, as if it was a living thing exposing her secrets. 10 minutes later, a technical staff member arrived and connected the prosthetic eye to a laptop. The police captain walked into the interrogation room with 2 more officers. They played the recorded video footage on the laptop screen. The first video clip showed the yacht deck. The camera captured Serena's face clearly as she whispered threats to me beside the railing.
Tell your parents you want to leave home forever, or I will make sure you can never leave the sea alive.
The video clearly recorded the moment Serena pushed me off the yacht deck. Serena's lawyer kept silent and had no more excuses to make. Serena pressed both her hands flat on the table in extreme nervousness. I kept staring calmly at the laptop screen. The yacht footage was only the beginning of all the evidence. There were still videos from the life raft, the warehouse, and the fire incident in the old barn 12 years ago. The first video clip fully proved that Serena deliberately pushed me into the sea. The following clips confirmed that she paid the criminals to arrange my permanent disappearance. The second video segment was recorded on the life raft. It captured Scarface holding up his waterproof phone, with Serena's text message fully displayed on the screen. The bank transfer record, $100,000, and Serena's online username were all clearly visible on the screen. Serena's lawyer stopped taking notes and gave up defending her completely. The third segment was recorded inside the abandoned warehouse. Scarface spoke freely without hiding any details of their deal.
Your sister searched for us on the darkette by herself. She said she wanted you to disappear forever. She doubled our asking price right away.
One of the police officers turned his head away from the screen, unable to bear the cruel truth. Then they played the final video segment. It showed the old barn 12 years ago. The camera captured iron cages, trapped kidnapped kids, and smoke drifting under the barn door. The footage recorded Maya pushing me out of the window right before the fire spread. Her voice was cut off abruptly by the collapsing barn roof. The whole barn roof crashed down in flames on the screen. No one in the interrogation room spoke a word after the video ended. Dad spoke in a steady and firm voice.
Push for the death penalty for all 4 criminals. They deserve no mercy.
The police captain cleared his throat and gave a
The evidence chain is complete and solid. The charges include human trafficking and conspiracy to commit murder. We have all the proof we need for prosecution.
I let out a long, slow breath of relief. Serena kept crying as the police led her out of the interrogation room.
I only acted out of jealousy. I never thought they would really kill her. Please forgive me.
The interrogation room door closed behind her. I watched her leave and felt a complicated emotion that I could not name clearly. The court trials proceeded quickly. With the complete video evidence, there was almost no room for argument from the defense lawyers. The 4 kidnappers and criminals were sentenced to the death penalty. When the judge announced the sentence in court, I waited to feel relief or satisfaction, but no emotion came to me at all. Then it was time for Serena's sentencing trial. She cried so heavily in court that she could barely stand on her feet. Her lawyer tried every possible excuse, including coercion, fear, and emotional grief, to plead for a lighter sentence. The judge stared at Serena in silence for a long moment before speaking.
You paid killers to murder the girl you claimed as your sister. You did not act out of fear. You did it purely out of selfish jealousy.
The judge struck the gavel to announce the final sentence.
Serena was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
I was scared and confused. I never expected them to really kill her. Please give me a lighter sentence.
The police put handcuffs on her and led her out of the courtroom. Mom whispered softly beside me that everything was finally over. I nodded quietly.
I sat silently in the courtroom and sorted out everything that had happened. The 4 criminals were sentenced to death. Serena was convicted and sent to prison. The judge publicly announced her crime abut in front of everyone's. All the things I had fought for were finally accomplished.
But I only felt an overwhelming sense of tiredness deep inside my heart. It was not the ordinary tiredness that sleep could fix. It was the exhaustion after holding on to hatred and a promise for 12 long years. I watched the courtroom doors behind Serena. I had won the battle for justice, but I still could not tell if this victory fulfilled the promise I made to my dead friends. In the afternoon of the same day, Reed drove me to the memorial garden for the victims of the fire. Small memorial plaques and rows of young trees filled the garden. Each tree was planted in memory of one child who died in the barn fire. I found the oak tree planted for Maya. It was a young oak tree with growing branches and leaves shining brightly in the sunlight. I crouched down beside the tree and placed a dandelion at its base. It was the only wild flower I could find on the way to the garden. I knew Maya would laugh and tease me for choosing such an ordinary flower.
Thank you for saving my life back then.
I did not say any more extra words. There was no need for more words. Maya knew clearly that she gave me a second chance to live. She also knew I had avenged all our dead friends. I stayed quietly beside the oak tree for a long time. I felt the ground under my knees, the warm sun on my face, and the simple fact that I was still alive and living well. Then I stood up slowly and walked back toward the car. Reed leaned against the car door with his hands in his pockets. He looked up at me the moment he heard my footsteps.
Are you feeling okay now?
I thought about the question deeply and honestly. I remembered the little girl who came home without legs, with one deaf ear and one blind eye. The girl who spent 12 years holding on to a promise for her dead friends. And now, the girl who finally got peace and a normal life. Yeah, I am okay now. I meant every word sincerely. For the first time in many years, I truly felt peaceful and content with my life.